everybody, and welcome to another episode of In a Snap. And in this episode, this will kind of be a quick one. I'm basically going to talk about when to shoot in JPEG format. And really, the answer is never. All right, thanks guys again. Thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you guys. No, I'm just kidding. So there actually is a couple of occasions that you would actually like to shoot JPEG, and let me give you two quick things about JPEG. If everybody knows what a JPEG is, but a lot of people don't know what it stands for. And JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group, which is a very dumb name, but I'm glad they have an easy acronym. And another thing is a JPEG is just basically a compressed image. That's all it is. It's an image that every time you save it on itself, or you save a JPEG, it'll compress the image to make it a little more, size worthy. But if you take that same image and save it again, it compresses it again, and it keeps compressing, and you lose quality and you lose information every time you do that. So you're probably thinking, why would you want to go ahead and shoot JPEG? Well, there are a couple occasions that you want to do that. And I'm going to run through a couple that actually I do on a regular basis if the occasion comes up. So the first one is, if you're just taking photos of family, you're taking photos of, your kids running around, outings, just like quick snapshots, and you don't really want to, come back home and edit the raw file and make like a gallery image, gallery worthy image. But you just want to get a couple quick snapshots and just let the camera do all the processing. You choose the style that you want it to be, and you just let the camera do all the work and not have to worry about anything. That's one of the main reasons you would shoot JPEG. And I have done that in the past. If you go to a family gathering for the holidays and you're just taking pictures of all the people there, and you just kind of want to get memories and that sort of thing, go ahead and take a JPEG. You can still shoot RAW if you want to. You can change your camera setting to do RAW plus JPEG. But most of the time I'll just switch it on over to JPEG and just have something that easily uploadable. Once you get back home, you can upload them to Facebook right away. You don't have to do any processing or anything. So that's one reason I would shoot JPEG. Another one is time lapse. A lot of people think that if you go set out a time lapse, you want to be able to fill up your memory card with all these high resolution images. But when you're doing a time lapse, that's not really it's not really necessary, because you're still going to be able to edit a little bit of JPEG image data when you're in Lightroom or Photoshop, but when you're playing your time-lapse video back, you're basically going to be playing it at HD with common HD, which is the 1020 by 920 or 1020p, I think that's what it is. So that's really only 1,000 pixels. And so your camera, if you shoot JPEG large or medium, you're going to have almost double the amount of pixel data, and you're basically just squishing it down. And so if you actually switch it to JPEG when you're doing time lapses, you're getting more than enough information to make a time lapse video. Even if 4K, even if you want to play a time lapse video back in 4K, that's 4,000 pixels. You still have plenty of data. So that's a really good reason to shoot JPEG in those kind of instances. Another reason I would shoot JPEG, and this one's kind of more what I've been doing in the past, in the most recent past here, is I've been shooting JPEG plus RAW. So I still have the RAW file, but I will change the style, the picture mode of the JPEG image to something like the monochrome, or even a custom picture style that I put on the camera. And the reason I do that is because, if I change it to monochrome, for example, and I go out and take some photos, what shows on the end, the screen, or what shows on the back of the LCD there, is the monochrome image. And so I still have that monochrome image JPEG that I can have. I might really actually like the file, the look of that, but then I'll still have the raw file to take home and play with and try to maybe mimic the style and that sort of thing. You don't necessarily have to do it that way, but I found that a lot of times, especially in the monochrome, depending on how you tweak your picture styles, the monochrome picture style will definitely have a very high contrast image, and it'll it'll kind of be kind of what you want to do when you get back to the computer. It'll, you want your image to look like what it looked like on the back of the camera for the most part. And so I like to do it that way. And, when you look on the back of the camera, you're basically looking at a JPEG preview. That's what that is. You're not looking at the RAW file. You might wonder why your image, when you get back home, doesn't look as punchy as it did on the back of the camera. And that's because you're looking at a JPEG preview. So if you want to keep the way that looks, but still have the RAW file, you can actually change that to JPEG plus RAW and still have both, the best of both worlds there. And the last reason I would shoot JPEG, and this is kind of like a no-brainer, but you kind of hate to do it this way, is when you're running out of space on your memory card. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but this is what happened to me. Example, and this is why I say that. I was actually taking I was traveling and to a city that was a little farther away than I was, and I just took my light equipment. I basically took my lens that I knew I was going to use, my camera, one memory card, which was a very big mistake, and then my tripod. That's all that I took. And so I went there and I started shooting, and I actually started getting more photos than my card could handle. I had a 32 gigabyte card, and I was filling up the card really fast because I was taking all these shots, and I was, some shots I was doing HDR in them, so I took bracketed shots and everything. And so when it got towards the end of the day, I still had, one more place to go to take the photos, and I hated to do it. I really hated to do it. But in order to save space, because I didn't bring another memory card, in order to save space, I switched it to JPEG large and was able to finish up the shoot, and I could probably still squeeze about 10 more JPEGs on there. So, you kind of hate to do it, but again, that's another reason you would shoot JPEG, just to make sure you don't fill up your card as fast as RAW files. All right, guys, thanks for joining me in this quick little episode of In a Snap. Head on over to PictureMonk.com for more photography tutorials and photography everything. I got a lot of stuff out there. Slowly updating it now. But I'm getting back to it. So head on over to PictureMonk.com and you will see all the stuff that I'm talking about there. And I'll see you guys next week.